Well, let's see how much my McDonald's Manager paycheck was for these last 2 weeks.
Here's exactly how much money TikTok paid me for the month of July.
I work in the oil field and I make $16,000 a month. And I hear a lot of people say, must be nice and easy money. But trust me, this job is not easy.
Alright, so today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're all going to be a little nosy and take a look at how much money people are making in the fields they work in. Maybe if you're younger, you could take this into consideration when choosing your future career, and that goes either way. Maybe if the pay is really good, you could look into it, or it's really bad and it's something you want to avoid. We have a ton of different examples today, so it's going to feel like we're a bit all over the place, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and let's just jump right into it.
I work in the oil field and I make $16,000 a month. And I hear a lot of people say, must be nice and easy money. But trust me, this job is not easy. And you earn every penny that you get paid out here. You work 15-hour shifts for 30 days straight in a 90-degree heat in minus 40 below weather conditions. And whether you're sick, tired, it doesn't matter. You must show up every day and you must perform. And besides that, this job is extremely dangerous. A lot of people get hurt out here. A lot of people lose fingers. And even fatalities do occur in this field. Yes, the money is good, but you miss out on so much life. And especially if you have a family, if you have kids, you will miss on birthdays, you'll miss Thanksgivings, Christmas, and the oil field does not give a about none of that.
Going right over to the comment section, 15 hours a day, 30 days straight is not worth $16,000 a month. And the comments right after that, hopefully it's just a joke and went right over my head. He's only 15, by the way, and the creator responds, I'm 17 to be exact. You were close though. If that is true, and again, it's not a joke, that's a pretty rough 17. Bro is literally the army picture we've seen online before. I'm making $16,000 a month with another photo of SpongeBob looking dead tired. The creator responds laughing, but this is a very serious job. Obviously, $16,000 a month sounds amazing, but you are actually working almost every minute you're not asleep. And I don't think I have to tell you how much of a toll that'll take on both your body and mind.
What do you do for work?
I'm a busser at Cheesecake.
Cool, and how much are you currently making there?
Roughly anywhere from 2,500 a month
Nice.
to like $3,000 a month.
I'm a manager at a bar.
How much do you make?
25.
I work at Crown Plaza on 2nd Street.
Cool. How much do you make?
$12.50 an hour.
I run a cocktail program at a bar.
How much do you guys make doing what you do?
$65 a year.
Work at Panda Express. Panda Express.
How much do y'all make?
$16.50.
Nice.
$16.50 as well.
I work as a host at a restaurant.
How much do you make doing that?
About $22 plus tips.
I am the owner of Backstage Coffee in Greenville, North Carolina.
From the business side, how much are you paying yourself?
I paid myself probably about like 18,000, like a little bit less than 20, I think, but most of it goes right back to the business.
Okay, we'll talk about business owners a little bit later. I don't know how you would survive on $18,000 a year, especially if you just put it right back into the business. But even a couple managers at restaurants only made around $50,000. I don't think it's really worth it for the amount of work, but we could head over to the next clip with a similar situation.
Well, let's see how much my McDonald's Manager paycheck was for these last 2 weeks. I came to the bank, but I think they're closed. I think I'm going to have to come back after work to actually deposit my check. Let's see. I haven't even looked at it. I usually don't look at it. It's not that bad. 2 weeks worth of work, which is, somebody was asking last time, multiple times. This is for 68 hours, which means I did not work a full 40 hours within the 2 weeks. Yeah, I did not work 40 hours, and I worked 69 hours, and I did get a $10 bonus, and it says they gave me 3 hours of sick time, and it's after taxes $1,056. And I just noticed right here that they have not given me my PTO yet. I've been a manager for a year. They do not give you PTO at my particular store until you've been in management a year, and I have been management a year.
I don't understand how people could live on $2,000 a month. $18.92 as a manager is sad. I would never do that. A store manager at McDonald's not making $100,000 a year for all you're responsible for and deal with is crazy. That's exactly what I was thinking. It's not worth your time for that pay. And $500 a week is not a living wage. $26,000 a year. Unbelievable.
Here's exactly how much money TikTok paid me for the month of July. Well, technically June, since you do get paid out for it a month later, but let's get into the video. I also want to preface that I share this for transparency. I've been doing it on my page now for about 2 years, and I'm going to continue doing so. For context, I am part of the TikTok Creator Program. Anyone can get into this program as long as you meet certain requirements that you can look more into on your own time. But once you are in the program, as long as you create minute-long content, you get paid based off of the amount of views that you get. For the month of June, I had over 428,000 qualified views, and within that, my RPM, which is how much I get paid per 1,000 views, was $1.91. This number will vary per creator per person, but that was mine for that month, and that means for the month of June I made $810.76 after some PayPal fees were taken out, which I think is really good considering that's money that I'm earning for just doing what I love, what I'm passionate about, which is creating content and helping you guys out. I do have my 9 to 5 that I work full time.
Okay, so this situation's a little bit different because she's doing it part-time and still has a full-time job, but you and I both know the amount of people who want to be streamers, YouTubers, TikTokers now, and think that all they have to do is just get a bit of a following and the checks will start rolling in. But when it comes to TikTok, that's just not the case, because this creator's page is a pretty decent size, 266,000 followers, but you wouldn't be able to live off $800 a month, and that's before tax. That's also a reason why you see so many other creators expanding into other social media platforms, places like YouTube, Twitch, Kick, all of those other ones, because if you want to sit there and make all of your money just from TikTok, the pay's not going to be nearly as good as you think.
This is what working at Amazon during peak season looks like. Today, for the first 4 to 5 hours, all we were doing was just picking. And there was a bunch of people today, so I got my own lane. And this was literally the easiest thing ever. And the whole time, I was just vibing, listening to music with the glasses I use to record these videos. Honestly, it's super chill, especially with music playing. It makes the time go by super quick. After that, we had to do picking, and not gonna lie, it's pretty easy. You're just playing Tetris again, just with bigger items. This is how it starts, and this is what it looks like at the end. After all of that, you just take it to the location right here. All you guys have to do is park it basically. And we basically do this for the last 3 to 4 hours of the shift.
So even though he's making it seem like this is the easiest job ever, you're constantly moving around on your feet for about 8 hours. They also said that they were getting paid $34.87 an hour, but going over to the comment section, someone else says I'm getting $18.50 an hour. You guys are complaining about $23 and $24 when I get $21.25. Overtime being $52.30 is crazy. Another person saying $30 to $40 an hour. I guess it really does depend on the Amazon warehouse because the pay varies greatly. But we got another comment, somehow the drivers have it the worst. And that's a pretty good transition over to FedEx drivers.
Full day of work, and what I make is a 23-year-old FedEx driver. You know, I'm waking up, pounding some caffeine before work. That's what the van's looking like. So this job isn't paid hourly, so I'm running the doors. It's just paid up based off how many stops we have that day. So I'm always it looks kind of goofy, but I'm always kind of running up to the door so you get done as quick as possible. I start delivering at 8:30, and then I'm done usually around 3:30 or 4. Bro, I don't know how I get so dirty working here, but I do. So at the end of the day, we get paid $1.50 a stop. I had 250 stops today, or 240, so $360. But yeah, the pay can vary a lot. There's a lot of ways where you can make more money, so I can go over that in the future. But yeah, I mean, that was pretty much it for a typical day.
I'm a FedEx driver and I get paid hourly. How many stops are you averaging a day? I work at UPS and do around 180 to 200. The creator responds, I work for a private contractor that has us average around 250 stops. But I guess because of that, you're not paid hourly. This is one of the jobs that people have said if you're in it for the long haul, you can make really good money being a FedEx and UPS driver. However, I guess when you're starting out or work for a private contractor, it's definitely not going to be the big bucks that you see online.
What do you do for a living?
I sell hot dogs.
How much do you make doing that?
Depending on the location, anywhere between $50,000 to $100,000.
So I'm an agency owner. So I do marketing, branding, design, those types of stuff.
How much do you make?
So it depends on how much do I earn. You know, clients, deals, things like that. I pay myself anywhere between $120, $150.
Nice, I love it.
I own a spa, about $200,000 a year. I just started doing massage therapy, and then I went into owning.
I run a company where we provide experts for legal cases.
Legal cases.
Like with attorneys.
Expert witnesses. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. I've never interviewed anybody in that role before. How much are you making?
Around...
6 figures?
I would say 7.
7?
Yeah.
7 figures. Holy moly.
We've been running this company for about 8 years already. Okay. So every year it's been growing. Okay. And we're continuing to grow.
Okay, so this is more on par for what you see a lot on social media when it comes to business ownership. It feels like everybody is just making 6 figures right off the gate when that's clearly not the case. We saw in the clip earlier with the coffee shop owner only making 18 grand a year, and I'm not trying to push anybody away from owning their own business, but if you start looking at more of the stats of how many people actually make over 6 figures, it is a bit of a reality check.
How many Americans actually make 6 figures? If you spend enough time online, it probably feels like everyone and their brother makes 100K or more, but the real numbers tell a very different story. Now for the data. According to YouGov, only 18% of US adults earn over $100,000 a year. So that's fewer than 1 in 5 Americans who actually make 6 figures. And if we slice that by gender, 25% of men, or 1 in 4, make 6 figures, compared to 12% or 1 in 8 women. Age does change the picture a lot too. Starting with those 55 and older, 16% make at least 6 figures. Ages 45 to 54, it's 20%. If you've stayed this long, hit that follow button. Ages 35 to 44 is where we peak, 25% making 6 figures. Ages 25 to 34, it's 18%. And finally, for ages 18 to 24, if you are stressed about making 6 figures at this age, please just put your phone down and stop tweaking, because in reality, the percentage of people in this age range that actually make 6 figures is just 7.
So I mean, at absolute best, you have 25% on the 35 to 44-year-olds, and that's typically the peak earning years for most people. So like he said, stressing about it constantly, saying that you absolutely need to make 6 figures just like everyone else, the stats show that most people don't actually make that kind of money, even though it doesn't seem like that online.
Let's be open and honest about our jobs. My name's Erin. I'm 28. I live in Tampa Bay. I work as an optician apprentice at Walmart, and I make $30.05 an hour. I have been in this position for a year. The only thing that I have done to get my wages up are I took a certification that Walmart trains you and pays you for free and take care of everything. And actually, it's more than free. You get paid for it. So anyway, after a few months, I felt like I was ready to go take my test. I went and took my test. I got a raise to $29 an hour. It was a 10% raise. And then, because it starts at 26 an hour. And then after my yearly raise, I went up, I think, 2.5%. So now I'm at $30.05 an hour. I get roughly about 36 hours a week. I could get a little bit more, a little bit less if I wanted to, but this seems to be perfect.
Going over to the comments, air traffic controller. I make roughly $54 an hour now. In about 3 months, I'll get another $30,000 pay raise and ultimately $200,000 a year. No degree needed, and yes, we're constantly hiring. However, I would still say it's a pretty high stress job. Can't really make too many mistakes when you have airplanes constantly landing and taking off, so you definitely have to be on your game. Another person saying Costco $32.50 an hour, on Sundays $47.50. I'm just a regular employee and I've been there for 10 years. We'll take a look at that a little bit more later in the video, but someone else says me getting paid $18 an hour for being a pharmacy technician at a hospital. Now up next, we have another one of these server clips that I don't think is the best idea to share, honestly. People are getting tired of how expensive restaurants are getting, along with tipping culture, but these types of clips get uploaded pretty regularly.
How much I make in a week as a server who only serves 3 shifts a week. Yesterday was Monday morning. I served from 11 to 4 p.m. My total sales for the day were $945.50. I had a total of 13 checks and 38 guests. $254 for Monday morning. It was Tuesday. I worked another morning shift. I worked from 11 to around 5-ish is when my last table closed out. My total sales were $1,816. I had a total of 28 checks and 48 guests. This is what we made after tip out. $465 for Tuesday morning. Just got finished with my Friday double. I worked for 12 hours. My total sales for the day were $3,243.83. I had a total of 40 checks and 112 guests. $840 for my double. Tonight was Sunday. I worked a shift for the Eagles game. I worked for 5 hours. My total sales for the night were $1,012.90, $220. Total for the week, I made $1,779.
As a lifelong server, can we stop this trend? People are already over tipping culture, and doing this doesn't help. I had a table stiff me and say we make enough, and to thank TikTok for letting them know. Either you work at a high-end restaurant, or I suck at my serving job. The creator responds, just a local sports bar. I highly recommend serving locally, not a chain, so you make much more money apparently. As a server myself, has anyone in the community noticed ever since servers started posting these videos, our tips have tanked? Another example. I worked 11 to 8:30 yesterday, $19.90 in sales, left with $551. And your Monday and Tuesday is my whole week. Why are servers complaining about not making anything? But we could switch over to the next one, pay transparency. What I make as a nurse with 2 years of experience in LA. Bi-weekly paycheck, hours worked 72 hours, base pay is $56.12 an hour. Night shift is another $5.75, and weekend shift is another $2. Gross pay is $45.85, taxes are $1,227, and deductions are another $530. Net pay is $28.26 for 2 weeks. I make $87.95 as a new grad. You need to switch hospitals. This is too low for LA. I would definitely agree, especially in a crazy high cost of living area like that. Another person saying too many nurses. Pay is going down as a new grad. So we're hearing very opposite comments talking about graduates. Mind you, 4K take home, rent is $2,000. Could be a lot more in Los Angeles. Me making more as a bartender is crazy. And I was offered $39 as a new grad in Los Angeles last year. That's even less.
How many years have you been driving trucks?
Exactly 1 year next week.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Congratulations on your anniversary. So how would you rate the job after 1 year?
Oh, I love it.
Really?
I absolutely love my job.
What did you do before?
Well, I owned my own business for years. Couldn't survive COVID. So I was looking for something for a couple of years, bouncing around, trying to figure out how I was going to take care of the family. Found myself in a pretty good job. Boss was a little tough to deal with. And I knew that at a moment's notice he could fire me and I'd have to start all over. Didn't like that. Talked to a buddy of mine who was into trucking, talked to another guy that I just met random and learned some things from them. Saw that CDLs are in demand everywhere, and realized that if I had a CDL, even if this company fires me right now today, I can have another job before I leave the parking lot.
If it's not a secret, I won't tell anyone. How much can you make your first year trucking at CMC?
I'm actually very proud of that, and I'm glad to tell anybody. My first year, because I've got all the numbers I can prove this, they say that your first year average is about 77,000. Mine is going to hit 85.
Wow, congratulations.
And I'm disappointed I didn't hit 90.
Going right over to the comments, ask him the same thing 5 years from now. He's still in his honeymoon phase. $85,000, but when you work 60 to 80 hours a week, that's a $45,000 a year job. You just have 2 jobs. Now, it definitely does depend on what type of company you work for, because in the next clip, this driver is making a lot less.
What's your paycheck look like at the end of the week?
It could range between like $500 to $700.
Okay. How long you worked for May for?
It's been 7 months. It's a great company.
Okay.
I wish the pay was a little better. I got to move that I'm making to get up out of there.
Why is there so much turnover in the trucking industry? A lot of people leave to go to other companies like you're about to do.
Well, the pay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense.
And I mean, there's no other way around it. It's a lot of time on the road. I'd venture to guess most truck drivers do enjoy driving in general, but if you're doing the real deal long distance stuff, you're of course away from your family quite a bit. It gets harder and harder to eat healthy while you're on the job. And like the comment said earlier, if you're putting in a lot of hours, 60 to 80 a week, that'll definitely start taking a toll.
What do you do for a living?
I'm an embedded software engineer.
And how much are y'all making?
I make $150.
I'm a product manager at a healthcare software company. About $143.
I'm a sales engineer. I make $85K plus superannuation, which I think is the equivalent of your 401k.
I'm a director of sales and marketing for a tech company. About $150K a year.
I work full-time in technical support, so high 5 figures.
I'm in software sales for an AI company. $150K.
I'm a technology consultant. I'm making $155.
I work in tech sales, something around $90K.
I'm doing an internship this summer for so I'll be making $40 an hour.
Do you feel well compensated?
I do feel well compensated.
I feel very blessed, yeah.
Yeah, make commission as well, so.
Nice.
sort of reflective of our performance.
Now, this is the reason why so many people have gotten into tech over the past decade or so, and now with AI, it's clearly getting pretty rough. But a weird comment under this video, these are the highest paid in tech? That's not what this video was about whatsoever. It's good money, but it's middle of the road. Yeah, $150,000 a year is just whatever. Another person saying sales engineer is a crazy position name. Sales engineer, bro, you're a salesman. I don't know why I thought they made a lot. It's probably because they've seen those videos of tech bros who work at Google or Meta and make $400,000 or $500,000 a year, and it looks like they do basically nothing. But again, $150,000 a year is nothing to laugh at.
Okay, it's 2 days before our payday. How much money do you think you have in your account?
I'm hoping like at least $40.
How much?
In the single digits, guys. I have $7.46.
Oh boy. It's 2 days before payday. How much money do you think you have in your bank account?
I think I have like 17. 31.
Hey. Okay, it's 2 days before payday. How much do you think is in your bank account?
$63. Oh, $1.13. Oh boy.
Okay, there's 2 days until payday. How much money do you think you have in your bank account?
I think I probably have like 400, 500. I should
That's
be fine.
pretty good. That's
I have $126.
that's not bad.
Paycheck to paycheck with a master's degree is wild. They're laughing, but this is not funny. I hope this becomes a trend so people realize how awful teacher pay really is. Now, at least for me, there was no chance that I'd ever become a teacher. I'm not good with kids. I don't want to deal with that kind of stuff whatsoever. And with a lot of examples of the pay not really being the best, it just really wasn't for me.
How much do USPS mail carriers make in 2025? Starting on September 6th, the starting pay for a new city carrier assistant is $20.73 per hour. If you become a full-time city carrier, the starting pay is now $24.82 per hour. You'll get a raise every 46 weeks until you hit top pay after 12.4 years, which is currently $39.35, which is roughly about $82,000 per year. If you worked about 10 hours of overtime per week, you'd have an annual pay of about $112,500. You'll also get an additional 2.1% to your salary if you're a carrier technician, which means you're a swing. There's also going to be a 1.5% general wage increase in November, as well as a cost of living adjustment in March 2026. Career postal workers also have a defined benefit federal pension plan, as well as a 5% match to their version of a 401k. There's also 20 days of paid leave after 3 years, increasing to 26 days after 15 years, as well as 11 paid holidays.
Now, heading over to the comment section, we don't make enough. Please do not apply if you love your life. For the work we do not get compensated enough. Just hit 11 years as a regular. I'd never recommend this job to anyone, but right after that, am I the only one who loves this job? I guess so in this comment section. First 2 years are hell. You lose friends, family, and relationships, and your freedom. There's a reason we get free therapy. The first 2 or 3 years is best to be single. Dating someone not at the post office won't understand what you're going through. Way underpaid and overworked. I'll be making $39.50 inside of 2 years at Costco. So glad I left USPS. Worthless, unorganized, the most toxic place I've ever worked in my life. But that's a pretty good transition into the next one.
I was hired to work at Costco in September of 2023, and I was told I was going to be making $17.50 an hour, and today I made $56.85 an hour. So let's talk about it. So in all my interviews, they told me I was going to be making $17.50 an hour, but when I got there for orientation, I found out that there was a corporate-wide dollar raise, and so I started actually at $18.50 an hour, $27.75 on Sundays because it is time and a half on Sundays. Then you can get raises based on hours work, based on position, and sometimes just more corporate raises. So spring of 2024, I had my first raise to $19 an hour, just a 50-cent raise. That was based on hours worked. In May of 2026, I got another $1 an hour raise to $24, but that only lasted for 2 days before I got licensed. Once I got licensed in the hearing aid center, I now make $37.90 an hour on weekdays and $56.85 on Sundays because it is time and a half.
Why am I an RN? I should work at Costco. I've been there since 2020, making $32.90 an hour. I get to work from home 3 out of the 4 weeks a month. It's great. I would say so. The creator added another comment. Also, Costco has a 401k match and great insurance for only $25 a paycheck for part-time and full-time employees. Me fantasizing about leaving my job in finance to work at Costco, and my sister started working at Costco when she was 19. Retired 4 years ago at 55 with millions in her 401k. So I have heard for a while that Costco is a solid company to work for. I believe it's pretty hard to get in because of that. And if you've ever been to the store, it's basically busy 24/7. So you will definitely be working the entire shift. But that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on screen right now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll talk to you guys later.